take so that they could try to kill Palm Goat again, and ended up getting triple killed by Trinity. So we knew what the objective was here from Akuma. They got what they wanted. They got their 70+ kill game. For the chat, anyone who believed in that 70+, congratulations, you are the winners. But at the end of the day, the real composition did eventually scale up. Palm Goat became Palm God, and the game just scaled out of Akuma's hands. So it will be a 1-1 series. And, as much as we're memeing the game, that is a big deal for YO Boomers. They will get a point out of this series. It will move them to 18, and that will help them in their quest to stay in that 4th position for the playoffs. You can see Lotus trailing them by just 2 points going into this, or going before the series was 1 point. Now it is 2, before we get the Lotus results here. So still a very tight race for 4th and 5th between those two teams. We'll have to see how it ends up between them at the end of the day. But Akuma remains locked in 3rd despite the loss and despite this very interesting draft.
Yeah, it was experimental. They were trying some new things we haven't seen here in the Heavy League before. And I'd say on this one, go back to the drawing board, maybe cook up something new. But yeah, this actually was a really, really good win for the Boomers to pick up, because this could have been so much worse. And this is the sort of thing where, like, I'm kind of curious to see if there was any, like, strategy behind this, right? Because I think there's a pretty clear divide when it comes to the top 4 teams in the league, right? Or top 5 rather, with Lotus, and keeping the Boomers towards the top end. Hey, Akuma Glaives might dodge a bullet here in the first round of the playoffs and get whoever our 6th seed is.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, they will be getting whoever our 6th seed is. Of course, Glaive Amethyst locked in at 1st. We got Vlad Banner's only locked in at 2nd. They will be getting their playoff bye. So it will be Akuma up against the 6th seed. It will be, YO Boomers and Lotus basically deciding who will get side selection. And, the interesting thing about our 6th seed is that will be our next matchup. New Age did go 0-2 against Glaive Amethyst, which means that we have a series on our hands for 6 between them and Orbital Chrome coming up. Again, coming into the day, New Age just needed 1 win at any point today to secure their spot. They went 0-2 against Glaive, which, probably expected.
Sure.
But now the matchup coming in for 6th place, if Orbital can 2-0 them, they will take their spot in playoffs. If it's 2-0 for New Age or 1-1, it will be New Age taking that 6th spot.
Oh yeah, no, this is definitely one of the most important games, the most important game of both these teams, or series rather, both these teams' seasons so far. And yeah, I just don't think we could stress enough how important it is that they come out and win this next series. But I do believe we have an interview lined up with the Tooper, so we are going to bring him in just a moment. But any final thoughts on that game, on that banger of a series before we throw it over to our analysts?
No thoughts on the last game from me. I am excited to hear what the Tooper has to say about it, the man on the end of that Mimi 2nd game, and we'll find out what our casters have to ask him in the interview.
Welcome everyone back here, and we got an interview lined up with Tooper as aforementioned. And even after an interesting game number 2, Mr. Tooper, game 1 still coming out on top. Has to feel good grabbing that win.
Oh yeah, dude. Glad to lock in the 3rd place. We're in it.
That's good. That's good. Always got to grab at that final bit of seeding, and headed forward, your road isn't easy, but it's very much doable. 3rd seed is going to help you face a lower seed team. Is there anyone that you're worried about headed into playoffs, maybe in the first few rounds?
In the first few rounds, not really. I feel like we should be able to get to semis pretty easily. After that, it's just getting through either VBO or Amethyst, whichever one we play against. That'll be like the real one to play for.
Yeah, now, if we take Heavy League history, into the factor, I mean, with the runaway team, number 1 Glaive Amethyst, they're going to lose semis. Like, the script's already been written. So, I mean, definitely, banging for you guys that I hope you get that poll so we can see you in the finals up against VBO. Again, it's already been written. But I mean, what happened today before we even get to playoffs? Like, what was this series? What happened?
So we're talking about game 1 or game 2?
Let's start at game 1. I'm still a little raw from game number 2.
Right. So game 1, we're going in. We know we need 1 win to lock in the 3rd place. So we got our coach drafting. We get a good like disengaged comp with the Nocturne, and then I don't know. It's kind of rough. We had a few throws in there. I was kind of inting the bot lane as usual, but I don't know. We pulled it through in the end with some good team fights.
Some amazing team fights. I mean, some of your Xayah ultimates in game number 1 probably won you the game outright. I mean, they commit so many resources to finding you in fights and somehow managing to get away from absolutely everything and then being able to dish out damage in the back end. Phenomenal play, if I must say. Was there ever a point in game number 1 where your team may have said, okay, let's not worry about this one, let's move to the next? Or was it always, hey, there's a shot back in this game, let's keep it up and we can win this one at the end?
No, yeah, we were never planning on going to game 2. I mean, we were never planning on depending on game 2. We were trying to just win game 1 the whole time. We got good mentals mostly.
That's good.
Yeah. Definitely needed it that game. I mean, the Cho'Gath was obviously a huge portion of it. You guys seem to draft fairly well. Again, game 2, just we're gonna block that out. That didn't happen. Previously, you guys have had some really good drafts, and heading into playoffs, we're heading into best of series, right? Like beyond this best of 2. So there is a bit more on the line in a certain sense. So do you have any like spicy drafts hidden away that you're planning on using in the playoffs, or are you guys gonna get to that point when you get there?
We got a few picks hidden away, but I can't reveal anything right now.
Are you worried that they're going to get nerfed first? Because we do still have a little ways away before playoffs.
That is a possibility, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you gotta always keep your eyes on those Riot patch notes. Can change things up so incredibly much, and who knows? Maybe Prowler's Claw will be the technology once more. I mean, I gotta do it. I gotta ask. Game 2, obviously a big meme. Was the team's mental just on a high, unlike before, or was it more just, hey, we don't need this game, let's just do what we want to do, and throughout the evening in a celebration fashion?
So the issue is we had our coach drafting for us game 1, and then for game 2 he had to go play his own match. So we were kind of lost. We didn't know what to do.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait, so you're telling me that you didn't intentionally well, I'm not gonna say throw game number 2, but intentionally memeify game number 2?
I mean, we picked the champions that we wanted to have fun on, but
okay. I was about to say, because I'm not sure I've ever seen a game that let's say intense in Heavy League before, but obviously you guys picked up the win that you needed to. Doctor, any final questions for Taper before the end?
I mean, so with this being actually your final series of the regular season, are you guys going to take a bit of a break before playoffs, or you're just heading right back into practicing and scrimming?
I have no idea. I would like to scrimming, but I don't think we've even talked about it yet.
Nice. All right. Well, congrats on your victory here today. Congrats on securing that 3rd seed heading into playoffs. And we'll definitely see you back here before then. But if we don't, good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tuper. Have a good night. With that being said, our interview is now concluded, and quickly we will throw it to a break when we're back with our analyst task for our second set of the evening to determine who makes it to playoff and who goes home empty-handed. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone here, and surprise, you get more Necrox and Doctor here to take care of you. Not on the Rift, but between Orbital Chrome and New Age. The draft just showed up almost instantaneously, but before we get into that, this game has serious implications. Unlike game number 2 last time around, there's like slight minor chance that things actually matter, but this one, all cards are on the table. Orbital Chrome versus New Age. This is for a chance to win it all.
Yeah, I mean, quite literally, this is the most important game we've had since week 1. This is for all of the marbles. This determines whether which team gets that playoff berth as the 6th seed and which team will be ending their heavy league season here tonight. And so there is no chance of, really a 1-1 split here, because that then heads into tiebreaker. So it all comes down to which team comes out ahead, gets that 2-0, and really earns their spot in. And a lot of it was set up by our first series of the night here, and a little bit last week, right? Like we saw the New Age take on Bucky Stratosphere. That was our streamed matchup as well. And it was actually quite close. Bucky's having that opportunity to play spoiler. This week, it's up to New Age to play their own spoiler. They need to come out strong. They need to come out swinging. And so as we're taking a look at the draft here, I think they're doing a great job so far. I mean, they banned away the must bans on the red side here. Galio, Rel, and Udyr removed from the table. Whereas Orbital Chrome, they get a little bit more freedom. And so they actually banned away the Zaya, which is something that has been kind of controversial to a degree. And they pick up Seraphine, still incredibly strong.
Yeah, almost everything necessary to ban away, but the Seraphine's still going to slip through the cracks here. Orbital Chrome immediately scooped that one on up, and Senna is grabbed by New Age as well. 2 power picks in the meta, facing off against one another. I assume in the bot lane, Seraphine can be flexed to the mid lane for Orbital Chrome, but New Age going to grab the Senna. What do they grab with it? Could be the fasting, could be farming. I haven't seen farming yield too much success, but Cho'Gath is going to be the grab here for New Age.
Yeah, I actually really like that so far. They picked the Senna so you don't have to deal with a Senna Seraphine bottom lane, which is very scary. Having that Glacial Augment slow on the Senna can make it very easy for the Seraphine setup, so they just take that away. It's still an incredibly strong pick. I mean, Kraken Slayer, great. You can also just really do whatever you want there on Senna. She's incredibly strong. The Cho'Gath, as we saw in game 1 of the night, very hard to deal with, especially for a squishy composition. And Orbital Chrome, up to this point, don't have like a true tank killer like a Jinx or a Vayne or Kai'Sa even. So they're sticking with it. They do have Kha'Zix though. Incredibly scary, hyper good in the jungle. You can farm fast, you can kill fast, you can pick people off very effectively, and it's going to be combating Skarner, which is another one of those chem tank abusers, and that's really what it is. They are abusing that item, let's be honest here. That's why it's getting nerfed. But so far, this New Age draft is looking really good. They have the excessive range of the Senna, the speedy killiness of the Cho'Gath Skarner, and I'm just excited for what they pick up here for the other bot lane component and their mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, technically, there's a world where this Cho'Gath goes support. Farming support. I'm probably not going to see it. We'd have
that would be sick. Do it, New Age. Do it.
Yeah.
Cho'Gath Senna bottom lane. Do it.
It would, with everything on the line. Maybe there's a chance we see it, but bans coming through now. Thresh going to be banned away from Orbital Chrome. Still waiting on that last one. It's the final in phase 2. New Age going to ban away the Anivia and the Shen. But what I did want to mention here is that this Seraphine is going mid. I noted earlier that is possibility for flex. They've taken that possibility and made it a reality. Is that one will be locked in for mid? Could be support actually as well. With the Ezreal, it does pair quite well. So actually, you might be right saving counterpick, but the flex still online. I appreciate your wisdom of the versatility of the champion. In before it goes top, Doctor. I don't know. I'm getting too dreamy.
Seraphine into Cho'Gath. It would be an interesting pick as well. I do think there are better picks into the Cho'Gath. I mean, you can pick up like a Vayne. You can pick up an actual top laner. We've seen Darius very effective in the past here in the amateur scene, so still an option. Blind-ish Orianna. It's incredibly strong. You do get the Shockwave, the Command Dissonance. It's just overall very safe. You don't have to worry about a whole lot. It basically has no counters to a certain degree, and it also combos insanely well there with the Skarner.
Yeah, it does combo well, ball delivery. And what I was thinking is these support bans from Orbital Chrome, you want to ban away some of those threats to the Seraphine. So maybe they're actually trying to put this one support. Victor going to be locked in for Orbital as they get that mage in the mid lane. Victor versus Orianna. Neither one going to really have kill threat. And then once Verdant Barrier arrives, your kill threat just hit the floor.
What was
So
nerfed?
no one will deal any damage. It was nerfed, but I don't know. We'll see if they opt to build it. Ornn is in. So that will be headed top. And the Seraphine will be headed support. Into the Cho'Gath, we're going to get the Ornn matchup. Cho'Gath definitely going to have a good time, but the Braum is an option. Could do a lot to negate the Seraphine Ornn combo. I would love to see that from New Age. Good counter drafting. That's why you are 5-year support. And they're hovering it 3 seconds. Oh boy. So it's Cho'Gath, right? Or is it Orianna support? I'm guessing it's Cho'Gath.
It could be Silas support.
Man, I hope you got your little book opened up, frantically flipping through the pages, because New Age are pulling out some dark wizardry here in the draft, and I
Maybe
think
they
what
listen
makes
to
the
me.
most, yeah, I mean, maybe they got the stream open for all I know. New Age, what I'm thinking here makes the most sense. Senna's going 80 carry. You're getting the Senna farming, or not farming, fasting. Cho'Gath will be taking that CS. Silas headed top, and then Orianna mid, Skarner jungle. The only thing I've seen work though is the Scion. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to pay off, but New Age, man, they've got some wizardry and they're putting it to work as we get into client. This will tell us really where things are going.
Yeah, I mean, I actually do really love the Cho'Gath Senna bottom lane. I have actually brought this up a couple weeks ago when we started really seeing the farm Kench blow up again, because Tom Kench, garbage champ, get it off my game. And I was like, just pick like a better champion. Pick a champion that does something. And I brought up the Cho'Gath at the time, and it seems that New Age may have actually, gotten the secret sauce a little bit early. It is incredibly safe. It farms lightning quick once you get a couple levels into those abilities. Rupture into Scream, just one shots the wave. You'll get the souls for Senna quite quickly. She'll be able to stack those up and be able to, farm nicely. Into Ezreal Seraphine, it's a little scary because it is obviously melee ranged, which traditionally can be a bit of a problem. But the one thing that Cho'Gath has to kind of negate that problem is the passive. It's an innate heal. You get a little bit of HP every time a minion dies, and so you are going to be somewhat healthy, especially comboed there with the Senna, having that heal on a somewhat short-ish cooldown, especially if you can get auto attacks off. But the Ezreal Senna is so poke heavy, and I think if you're them, you just kind of ignore Cho'Gath and let him do his thing for the first couple of minutes and just poke the crap out of Senna, right? Like, send her back to lane every single chance you get, back to Fountain, excuse me, and really abuse the early short range that is going to be the only time you get to do that. So we'll see how much it actually pans out. As I'm seeing on the draft phase here, it is going to be that Cho'Gath support. We'll see if it is actually fasting or feasting once we get into game, depending on the item choices. But I actually really like this from New Age. I like it a lot.
I like it. I like the creativity. Picking the Cho'Gath early, you assume, hey, Cho'Gath blind pick, it's good top. No matter what, basically, there aren't too many things in the game that can counter it. But Chaser has some knowledge in the draft, like, yo, grab this one early and then flex it for me. R5 then comes around and like, okay, we're gonna get a support pick here. You could whip out the Braum. They had me fully fooled. I was like, okay, you get the Braum, deny the Encore and the Ornhorn, and they immediately switch to the Silas, and my brain goes AWire. That means Orbital Chrome's brain is going AWire. Whoever's drafting for them is going AWire, and they're panicking now to get their draft in the right spot, get your runes fixed, get everything that you need in order to win this game. But I have a bad feeling in my gut, Doctor, that New Age are throwing Orbital Chrome a lifeline. You have to hope that Blazing Bronze and Chaser have practiced this one, or Orbital Chrome could take this game and run into playoffs.
I mean, I definitely have a lot of into Blazing Bronze. I think they are quite good. I think they have a lot of talent in that, position. And you're right. I do think the Braum is great. We've seen the Braum Ornn interaction to then power the Encore into that
Mhm.
as well eats up a large portion
Yeah.
of this Orbital Chrome power. So if they get abused by the Ornhorn Encore combo, we're going to be looking at this draft going, man, they should have just locked in the Braum. What are they doing?
Yeah.
And it's going to be like definitely a big hindsight 2020 moment. But for now, until that happens, I think you kind of can't play that safe game because a lot of the Braum strength is into melee support matchups because you can, abuse the passive of Braum and do that. The shield, great tool, but it's not the only thing he brings to the table. And Insta Seraphine would have been a bit weak. So I like the creativeness. If it works, it is banger. If it fails, then we just go next.
Okay, yeah, I mean, even into the Kazakhs, right? It does super well because you're quite literally standing next to your teammate, so there's no possibility for isolation. But hindsight analysis is gonna have to come true here, Doctor. It's all on New Age to execute and all on Orbital Chrome to upset this bracket and put themselves in playoffs. With that being said, our number 17 in Orbital Chrome takes on your number 6 seed in New Age in a must-win game for both of these teams. You're not gonna want to miss this action. If you thought game 2 was a banger of last set, game 1, it only gets even better, baby. We'll be right back with our casters to break down the action of the Rift. Stick around.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this old school style. Uh-huh. Okay. Yo, my name is Zephyr. I'm here to represent the best team of all, the Heavy League Wall. You thought that they were out, too bad they got some clout. Orbital Chrome, about to hit this league home. Starting in the top lane, ADC, about to be your bane. Tanks on his belt, Gnar gonna make him melt. Damage that you dealt, better get yourself a black belt. Or a home run, unless you wanna hit a metric ton. Derricos in the jungle. Get ready for the rumble. Heavy damage coming at ya. Engage central no matter the patch ya. Slash div always breaking up a crowd. If League was an FPS, he'd be like Shroud. And Control Mages might be his pick, but his playstyle is honestly sick. And don't forget, my main man assisted a wide pool. Always enlisted, a bottom lane king, he's a fighter of the ring. Play the lane wrong and he'll take you out strong. Support main Nelson, the glue of the team. His plays are smooth, just like cream. Keeps you alive, always answer the prayer. Or playing a tank, built just like a bear. I really hope you don't forget the king of them all. Team name Obi Chrome, gonna hit you like a fastball. I'm out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rift in this banger of a game. My name is Juicebox Guy. His name is DJ, and welcome to the S team of the Heavy League broadcast.
Yeah, S team here to carry you home because we have a ton of stakes in this game. Juicebox Guy, playoffs are on the line for Orbital Chrome and New Age, fighting for that final spot, the 6th seed, for the right to play Akuma Glaives in round number 1. Orbital need to 2-0 this series, and they are coming out with a draft that is around their main members. Derikos has his Kha'Zix. They have the Seraphine, the powerful pick for Nelson. The one interesting thing is ADC usually likes to be a bruiser, usually likes to try to carry. He is going to take a back seat, and they are going to give the carry pants to the normal one, Derikos, but also slash div on his preferred Victor. The question on the other side is, can we rely on Blazing Bronze like we usually do to carry this home? They're setting up an early trap here for Nelson. I don't know if he'll fall into it.
Yeah, he's definitely creeping on in there, but it looks like they're gonna. He's too smart. He plays support. He's actually smart at the game. Yeah, no, I really enjoy seeing ADC on Ornn as opposed to, you know, going another one of these carry top laners. You don't want too many chefs in the kitchen because at the end of the day, someone's got to stand in the front and serve the food. You know, if everybody's just a bunch of damage dealers, you're never going to get much done. So it is going to be Ornn top, and Blazing Bronze is going to have his work cut out for him. It's going to be a little hard to get going, but I think he should be all right. The farther this game goes along, he's going to outrange Victor pretty easily. He's got a few other advantages. Meanwhile, Protano Senpai, Ornn is the Mage Burst tank assassin. You got to give him the respect he deserves.
Yeah, we'll just be able to heal up likely. Another reason I particularly like ADC on this tank here is he is going to take that negative level 2 trade, but does do a nice job getting it back.
It's one
burn coming out. Yeah, it's some
level 2
rough stuff there, but again, that is a Silas. We'll just heal up through the Kingslayer. The reason I like this tank is because, you know, it's an interesting draft coming out from New Age, relying essentially completely on Senna for the AD damage. They have 3 AP champions across the board and a Skarner, who is, of course, going to be the tank and the pick setup for the composition. So it's all going to be on Bronze to put out this damage, which means this is some pretty easy itemization that can come in from the Ornn, which will only get stronger as the game goes on. So expect a lot of utility to come out of ADC, should be able to build pretty easily. It will just be on Assisted and VT Nelson to try to keep Blazing Bronze down. Really harassed in the early game with this advantageous double range matchup into the Cho'Gath. Try to poke them off farm, try to keep Senna off souls, and slow down what is clearly the scaling focus from this New Age draft.
Oh yeah, the Senna, and they're just gonna be brutal. They will out damage you, and they are going to out tank you. It's gonna be really hard to deal with, but you have to remember, Seraphine's in this game. And if anybody defies logic and winning every possible situation, it is going to be Seraphine. Chaser takes a ton of damage, though. You got to be careful. Being melee into 2 range is always brutal, especially when you have to walk up to actually go get the farm. Scrapping continues, and so far, nothing too serious to note has happened. Kha'Zix's finally getting his first back in the Skarner. Well, he's actually cheating forward. He's trying to get some jungle camps on that top side, but full clears a galore.
Yeah, and there is a lot of priority for Age King at the moment, or excuse me, for Derikos at the moment, with this bottom lane just shoved in. So should be pretty powerful. As you mentioned, it's always going to be tough as the farmer in these fasting Senna lanes when you are up against double range. There's a lot of sustain, of course, on a Cho'Gath, but unlike the Scion, maybe just not quite as safe when farming. But so far, Chaser doing a decent job to keep himself alive, doing a decent job to trade back damage with that double glacial augment that has come in. And, you know, Chaser was a mid-season substitution for the likes of New Age, and he has really impressed me with his play, particularly on Thresh, and getting off to a very good start here. His farm is pretty solid, and now they're actually chasing down Nelson.
Yeah, blew the flash and might blow the Nelson. Nelson able to eke away. He's going to be all right, but that's a lot of summoners blown purely because they disrespected the old mana bar.
Yeah, disrespecting the mana bar, always a tricky one, and they will have to burn that summoner spell. The heal also came out from assisted, so very, very nice stuff from this bottom lane of New Age, combining well on this very cooperative bot lane composition. Of course, you gotta have good comms. You have to have practiced it like Necrox was talking about, and they look very good on it to start this game.
Thus far, actually matching Ezreal in CS, that is about as big as a dub as you're really going to get when you are rocking the Cho'Gath. And I am super excited to keep watching and see how this bottom lane does continue to play out. But honestly, that's the only thing we could really do so far. One interesting thing, though, Ornn did decide to grab a Cole. Basically just saying, dude, you're never going to kill me. And I guess we're going to find out right here as ADC 2021 is taken down insanely low. Horn is called, but it is pure disengage. Oh, what a flash. Nicely done, Potato Senpai. He's trying to catch him. He's trying to chase him. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is first blood going the way of New Age. That could be early disaster for Orbital Chrome.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't have much to say there for ADC. I know what he's trying to do. He's afraid that, Age King is getting around level 6 time. He's been farming pretty powerfully on the Skarner. He's worried that he's going to get ganked if he doesn't shove that lane in, but he just goes way too far, completely disrespects the damage coming out from Potato Senpai, who's running Conqueror. So even though he's level 5, he's still going to run you down over the lane. He's hoping he can use the Ornhorn to get out, just going to flash away from that one, pick up first blood for himself, and now set up very well to succeed is Potato Senpai, who is a huge lever for this New Age team. Age King and him love to get scrappy in the early game. This guy has some of the highest kills in top lane in the entire league, also has the highest deaths in top lane in the entire league. That's how he likes to play. He wants to be in your face. He wants to be able to push forward, even sometimes too far to his team's detriment. And now he is set up to push as hard as he wants ahead of this Ornn, who he should just be able to continue to heal off until Bramblevest comes through.
Yeah, bet you're regretting the Cole now, Ornn. It's going to be a while before he's able to cash that one in, and it just goes to show. You see the blue light in the sky? It's time to say goodbye. Get out of lane, do not greed. In any case, so far, the top lane action, the biggest action on the map, Age King was able to secure the early Ocean Dragon, and that is going to be pretty helpful for what New Age as a whole are trying to do. Derricos with a bit of a ganked attempt there. Oh, Shockwave might have resulted in something. It actually did blow the flash of Slash Div. That is really useful.
Yeah, Flash now down, and Slash Div in some trouble, has already burned the TP, but likely just going to have to go back to base. You can see he's ulting the wave to clear it. You see Age King hovering around. Derricos farming up bot side jungle. So yeah, the back is going to come out from Slash Div, and that will give Peter de Nunes a pretty hefty advantage in this lane if he can push the wave in. Peter is someone that New Age brought in this season to try to be their rock in the mid lane, to try to offer something, and has really struggled, in my opinion, to make the impact that I think the team wanted him to make. So this is a big opportunity for him with this good setup in the early game to try to take control, to try to be a carrier, rock in that mid lane, and try to get this game one for New Age. Because again, winning this game one means you're in playoffs. Means there's nothing that Orbital can do. You've secured your spot, and that gives you more and more chances to level up as you go up against these better mid laners in the playoffs. So I want to see that out of Peter. I want to see him be that rock for this team that Blazing Bronze has so often been the only one available for the likes of New Age.
Yeah, poor man needs a backpack, a backup. Needs a chirpa to help him carry these bags up the mountain, but in the meantime, it has been Blazing Bronze, kind of that solo man trying to do all the work his team needs him to do. Derricos recognizes that. He's spending a little bit of time down here. It's going to be hard, but they do get the spawn. There's the charm. There's the damage. Blazing Bronze is going to silver, and now Chaser trying to get out. He probably is going to be okay. Yeah, Derricos is going to let him go, but exactly where you needed to get that kill.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful stuff from VT Nelson there. We were talking about Chaser, giving him a ton of credit for how he's come in, but it's the other support making the early difference. Nelson has so often been in these supportive lanes alongside assisted where they just try to stay alive against the likes of Alistairs, the Palm Goats of the world, but not today. Nelson gonna land the stun, gonna land the ulti, and just absolutely burst down the enemy AD carry in Blazing Bronze. It's great stuff from their bottom lane, and they didn't even really need Derikos to finish off that kill, but still does manage to get an assist for his jungler as well, who's farming well, trying to get to that pressure point on the Kha'Zix as level 6s have all come in across the map.
Yeah, and this is actually going to be really big for the Senna, right? You can use that Dawning Shadow and really support your team across the Rift. ADC 2021 has never been in more danger. And now it doesn't matter what's going on across the map. You know he's in danger. Although so is Slash Div. And oh my goodness, they whipped the Shockwave. That's tragedy. However, it simply doesn't make any sort of difference. It's still going to be a kill in the hands of Age King. Obviously wanted that on Peter or Blazing Bronze, but a kill is a kill, and you take that every day of the week.
Okay, Skarner OP, but yeah, you know, you're making my heart skip a beat there, Peter. I was just trying to hype you up, you know, force the Slash Div back. You're gonna whiff your ulti on me? Woo-hoo-hoo, I don't know. Nevertheless, the kill does come in. That is the critical thing. Unfortunate the gold does end up on the Skarner, but it is a good play. I like the tempo from Age King. He's even on farm with Derikos, but just has been around a little bit more. He's already taken the Drake, now getting a kill in mid lane. You can see Derikos trying to answer back with this Rift Herald, which it looks like he should be able to secure, as he does have the support of Slash Div. But nevertheless, good stuff from Age King to try to use the tempo on this Skarner, which does need to get those picks, and will continue to look for those impales before the QSSs do come in.
Yeah, he's definitely got to start putting his foot on the gas, but so far so good. You know, I'd rather keep his foot on the gas. You know, he's been doing a solid job so far. They have some pretty good scaling on their team. It's not like they need to sprint on the pressure, but they definitely do want to be very comfy getting into that mid-late game rather than kind of having an even game, because you know, Derikos will blow you up, right? The Victor is just going to destroy you and so on and so forth. Anybody who ever gets hit by the True Shot Barrage from Ezreal, yeah, you know that hurts real bad. And I like that they're just using the Rift Herald to just funnel money into Derikos. Like, Slash Div, get out of that lane. That is my kill.
Yeah, since he arrived here, Derikos has been a big carry for this team. He's always on these assassins that he loves to play. We saw how effective it was against Bucky's, but hold on.
Age King running in, but can't get nothing. And now with the charm, he is going to use the stun to get Nelson. Nelson just gets obliterated. Now Slash Div is going to drop as well on the backside. Assisted trying to run away. He uses the E. He uses the flash, and he has run out of gas. The man does fall. Now, oh, beautiful healing and beautiful healing. Oh my goodness. Hey, enjoy the Inferno, Drake. Make sure you tell your friends back at the fountain where you're all going to be spawning.
Yeah, that's going to feel real bad here for Orbital. They get the Dragon to slow down the stacking, but man, oh man, they lose hard on the team fight as everyone is positioned just so split up in that fight. You've got Peter, you know, breaking up that fight at the beginning with the Shockwave. It only lands onto one, but it forces the dash out of assisted away from the fight. And then you've just got Blazing Bronze and Chaser just running everyone down. They've got the slows, they've got the heals, they've got all of this utility coming in from these bot laners here. And that just swings the fight completely in the favor of New Age. So despite they're gonna need to wait another 5 minutes to stack that soul, but with the lead they've got, it might not matter, as Peter might be in trouble.
I'm thinking he should be okay. You know, they both have phase rush, and whenever I get thrown in the mid lane, I always rock Orianna, and it's so easy to run away. So yeah, he's gonna be okay. Although Seraphine trying to catch him out, Nelson's not gonna find anything except for Potato Senpai. And that is not the ultimate you want on the Silas. There it goes. Charmed up goes Seraphine with a taste of her own medicine. And she's going to be spending the weekend in the hospice because that was brutal.
Yeah, lovely stuff from Potato. Taking the time on a roam timer, comes down the river, help his jungler. I think initially tried to secure Crab, but they spot a wee little Seraphine all on her lonesome, and they say, oh, I'll take that ultimate, and I will kill you. So Nelson does get that taste of his own medicine, and it is New Age who continue to extend this lead, now 3K at 15 minutes, and despite the kill that went down in bottom lane for Nelson earlier on, you take a look at this Senna. She's already at 50 souls at 15 minutes. It's just going to get worse and worse. 60 is another extension of that range. 80 will not be too far away. And this scaling composition for New Age is looking better and better as this game progresses.
Yeah, you know how you beat a scaling composition? Early. And they are not doing that so far. They are about 2.5k gold behind. Could have been a good catch if I think they were slightly on different pages. Chaser trying to get to the mid lane and Blazing wanting to go after Derricos, but it was going to be tough to catch him in any case. But yeah, no, Senna packs a punch. I mean, in what champion in the game other than maybe Caitlyn do you just take one auto and you're like, I really regret walking this way?
Yeah, the Senna damage can be really disgusting in the late game. It just gets so bad. All of my friends complain about it when I play it because I absolutely love it. It's hilarious how strong that champion is. The more souls you get, I definitely think the fasting route is the way to go. You just get so much off your passive, and Blazing Bronze is the kind of person to have that carry potential on this champion. You can see he's definitely practices. He looks comfortable on it despite the early death. Farming up very nicely, is going to be in a great position to carry this game as it goes on. And oh no,
oh Nelson, oh slash div, oh everybody, oh the world slash div. She's ticking down, and Leandries earns its paycheck.
This is a
well
dive.
Done there. And now let's take a look over here on the bottom side. No flash on Nelson. Does have the charm, but it doesn't do anything. Assisted gonna follow his support to the gray screen. Bit of good news. Shutdown in the mid lane. Peter does die to Derricos, so that was well done. Now, Potato Senpai says, you can't kill my friend. And Derricos says, yes, I can, and jumps away.
Yep, Derricos just using the slippery nature of that Kha'Zix to bounce away. He is so comfortable on this champion, but unfortunately, despite picking up the kill, despite being on that Duskblade of Drakthar, his team just sort of falling apart around him. It's a great dive on bottom lane after the initial kill in mid. There's no way that you can now teleport to help the bottom lane. So Age King just sets up there, lets his team push it in. They'd already chunked out the Seraphine, and there's no QSSs yet. It's too early into the game, so it's just too easy to walk right up, grab assisted with the Impale. They burst him down right away. There's no way that VT Nelson can run away. And now the first tower has already fallen in that bottom lane. So great stuff coming out from New Age to push their lead through their early game advantages, through their carry in Blazing Bronze. And, I got to say one thing about this top lane is that Potato Senpai has roamed down 2 or 3 times now. And, I think Silas has an advantageous matchup into Ornn, but I really dislike the fact that ADC does not have... Okay, hold on here. We got to fight.
Maybe we do, maybe we don't, but Potato's under his tower actually decides to jump. Oh, ADC, no. Why? No. ADC does manage to get away, but it does not last out there. It goes, hey, Potato's 3 levels up, and this is what it feels like. Everfrost to finish off the fight. Now take a look over at the mid lane.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nelson has had such a rough split, and it just continues. New Age does not win a game 2.
Yeah, New Age does not want a game 2, and I gotta say, at this point, it's not looking like we're gonna get one here, or at least a serious one, because they are just slamming Orbital across the map. 4-0-4 in top lane is Potato. 3-0-2 on this Cho'Gath is Chaser. They're gonna take the second Rift Herald, so Shirley goes down as well. And again, the clock is not on the side of Orbital. The clock is very much against them. Senna is probably the best champion in the whole game in the late game, maybe aside from Kayle. You've also got an Orianna that's scaling up. Like, this is disastrous. You have an Ezreal, you have a Victor. I know they can be strong in the late game, and the Seraphine's a great team fighter, but you are just up against it right now. Down 5k gold against the scaling comp, and they've popped that Rift Herald mid. It should take out this mid tier 1 turret. They're looking for more on the backside of it too.
Yeah, H-King coming in like a scorpion out of hell. He is going for it and runs into all the CC in the world. Does not matter. Nelson gets obliterated, and Rift Herald doing Rift Herald things in the mid lane. Knocks down 1, knocks down 2, and Peter on the 2. Derricos is so very low. H-King on the backside trying to get assisted, but it is Ornn playing the front line. H-King still fighting off assisted as Ornn finally falls. H-King did go a step too far, and they are able to grab that one. And while Blazing Bronze will take a good chunk from the barrage, that is going to be about all she wrote for the fight. 2 towers, and I think it was a 2-for-1 team fight.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1, but the towers both fall. And, I think the first mistake I've seen from H-King this game, there's a bit of a split call there as ADC goes in. There's no way ADC is killing anyone. Like, he's an Ornn. As much as the Ornn is the tank fighter, mage assassin, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to kill a Cho'Gath through Senna heals. There's no chance. And H-King went in, grabbed assisted again with the Impale, and there was a little bit of a split call on, should we just finish ADC or should we kill the AD carry? That allows the trade back onto H-King, but the fight is still just so New Age favored. It's 2 turrets down, it's 2 kills for them, and there's just no way you can get onto Blazing Bronze. Like, ADC was so split from the rest of his team. He's 0-4-0 on this Ornn, and we talked about him wanting to play bruisers. He's not looking very comfortable on this tank, and it's just going to be so hard for Orbital here. Like, I'm trying to think of what their win condition is, and outside of Derrickos doing something like this, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, doing something like that, it seems like a good idea, but then you remember you're going into red buff Senna, and you have to walk away with hardly any health. Now Potato Senpai has arrived, charm onto 1, and assisted. Gonna pay the price for Derrickos' sins. Now, he's trying to get away. He's still got a sliver of health. Should have the jump back up in just a second. I think he is out, but Potato Senpai wants him, and he wants him bad. Here comes H-King. Here comes Potato. They say, screw the tower, going for Derrickos, but once again, Derrickos getting away with murder. He should not have. Oh my goodness! The crits, the autos, the everything in the kitchen sink. And VT Nope was worth 140 gold. You got like a minion wave.
I mean, 1 in 6. Despite getting the first blood in this game, Nelson has just died over and over again because, you're a squishy support on a team that's just getting dominated. I mean, we're busting into the base at 22 minutes. The inhibitor is going to fall. I don't even know if it's worth taking the inhibitor here. It's one of those things where they could potentially farm off because it's too early in the game for you to be pushing down the base. Like, Baron just barely spawned 2 minutes ago. It's so early, and New Age is so far ahead. I mean, it's 7k gold. Again, I cannot reiterate enough. They have the better scaling composition. I don't know how Orbital comes back in this game. I really, really do not, because Derrickos is not accelerated. He's going to hit a 3-man charm, but they're just going to lose the fight.
Yeah, they are still losing the fight. Potato Senpai is dominating. AGC 2021 is going to learn exactly why. Assisted, still no QSS, and while Slash Div dies, which is kind of old news, Assisted falls as well. That should be all she wrote. Derrickos, he wanted to get Blazing Bronze, wanted to get something for the boys at home, but it looks like he's just going to join them instead. Potato Senpai throws the chains the wrong way, but who gives a damn? Game 1 and the playoff spot is going to New Age.
Yeah, and just about, will it be sub? Will it be sub 23 minutes? No, it will not. It will just be over 23 minutes. But New Age has booked their place in playoffs thanks to an absolute slam over their rivals for the spot in Orbital Chrome. They're going to take their time taking down the Nexus, but fall it will despite the extra kills coming in, and that will do it.
Yeah, that is a pretty dominating win, and if I do say so myself, I'm fairly certain which one of these two teams belongs in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to make your statement that you do belong than with that game. We've seen some up and downs from New Age all season long. There was a time when they were a bit of 1-1 kings where they would go 1-1 with every team they played, struggling to find some sort of consistency, flipping the game sometimes at level 2 with the Jarvans, the Nunus, with Potato Senpai going in hard. And all of that came up heads in this game. I mean, from start to finish, with Blazing Bronze on a reliable carry with a nice performance from Chaser, the early kill coming in onto ADC from Potato, and they just ran away with that. H-King used all of his priorities super well. He was in the right places to make dives. Honestly, for me, that was the best performance I've seen New Age have all season. And what a time to do it, to secure your playoff spot and to get momentum going for the playoffs.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Orbital Chrome's talent pulled a last avatar there because when they needed it most, it vanished. But in order to break down that fairly dominating victory, we are going to throw it over to our analysts. So go ahead and take it away, gentlemen. What went wrong?
Everything. To be quite frank with you, not much went right, to be honest. It's a New Age just absolutely hitting that one out of the ballpark, and Oberdachrome will lose their shot at playoffs. It's a heart-wrenching defeat if you're an OG player, staff, fan, or friend, but New Age coming out strong. This is the punch you need to make the miracle run.
Yeah, I mean, going all the way back to draft phase, things kind of got a little out of control. I mean, I think it almost feels like Orbital Chrome are playing a couple patches behind the rest of the league. I mean, first picking Seraphine, I was saying it in the Twitch chat that, Seraphine's cool and she's annoying and, she can be, quite unfun to play against, but she's not the same champion she was a couple patches ago. A lot has changed in the meta, a lot has changed in how these teams are playing around the game, and a lot of that kind of comes down to Chem Tank, right? Like Chem Tank does so good at just invalidating that Seraphine type of gameplay because she wants you to stay still and stay far away, and she wants to be able to snare you and slow you, encore you, all these different things that you need space for. You need to be not inside your opponent. And Chem Tank just removes that entire, series of events. How many times did we see the tanks of New Age just W key, right? Like New Age on the Skarner. Sorry, not New Age. Well, yeah, obviously New Age. Just going lightning fast, going through the entire team, getting the Ezreal out of the picture there, and just really, being annoying and doing Skarner things, and just generally making it difficult for Orbital Chrome as a whole to live up to the game plan that their composition was for.
And I might have had my doubts about Chaser and Blazing Bronze in the bot lane whipping out the Cho'Gath, but man, my doubts are rest assured because 6-1-6 on the Cho and then 3-1-9 on the Senna. Items to boot, and didn't even get a chance to scale. Like, Senna didn't have that many souls by the end of the game. It's not that nightmarish hitting you from across your screen kind of Senna. It's just all about that early game, and Chaser and Blazing Bronze 2v2, getting the flash, getting the heal out of Nelson and assisted. That's not how that's supposed to be going. You're supposed to be using your range advantage into the melee farmer. So really, really just great stuff from New Age. And Oberdachrome gonna have to pay the price. They're gonna have to go home empty-handed, no playoff spot. And game 2, we might have a little bit of a run back of what happened in our set, Doc.